You're watching the Red Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Fanatical effort, not an average effort. Not your best. We don't care about anybody's best. Fanatical, you hear me?
The Rebels came out fanatical and put themselves in position to win the game. Straight ahead in the Red Zone, we go in-depth on the season opener in Northern Illinois. From the locker room pregame to the game on the field to the talk afterwards, head coach Tony Sanchez is here to talk about it all. Plus, we go one-on-one with quarterback Blake Decker to find out what's changed this season at UNLV. And your chance to win a pair of season tickets to Rebel football. It's time to get fired up. The Red Zone is getting down and dirty right now.
This is the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us inside the Red Zone as the season is now officially underway. Kevin Bollinger alongside UNLV head football coach Tony Sanchez. Lots of positives to take away from what we saw Saturday night, but I know you're somebody who's not a big fan of moral victories.
Well, I am proud of the guys. You know, I mean, it was tough, hard-fought game. The guys came out and played well. And there's some different flows that occurred during it, but at the end of the day, we had the ball. At the end of the game with an opportunity to tie it. So I'm proud of the fight the guys showed, and there's a lot of things we can improve on and get better.
Well, let's start breaking this one down, beginning in the first half, where the Rebels showed that they would be a force to be reckoned with.
They've been talking for a long time about this and that. New era and change. At the end of the day, it's about you guys. You hear me? The change is the way you play. It's the effort in which you play.
All day, baby. All day, Sonny. Make plays all day.
Be intelligent. Execute the call. Give it to you with fanatical effort.
A fired-up Rebels team took the field looking to make a statement right out of the gate, and they did just that. Opening drive, they start at their 16, 3rd and 1 at the 25. Keith Whiteley gets 2 for the first down. Blake Decker's first pass attempt of the season complete to Aaron Criswell for a 10-yard gain to move the sticks. Later in the drive, Decker goes downfield to Devontae Boyd, and he breaks free, racing 65 yards for the touchdown. The Rebels go 84 yards in 7 plays in just 2.5 minutes and take a 7-0 lead. Northern Illinois went down and kicked a field goal in their first possession to cut the lead to 7-3. On UNLV's second play from scrimmage when they got the ball back, Decker is picked off by Sean Lurie, and the Huskies had the ball at the Rebel 41. The defense dug in on 4th and 3. Drew Hare to Ezra Saffold, but Penny Vea stops him short of the first down. After the Rebels were forced to punt, the D came up big again. On 4th and 2, Hare is knocked out of bounds short of the line again by Vea. At the end of the first quarter, UNLV led 7-3. The second quarter started with a bang. Kurt Palandek in at QB, and he rumbles 18 yards for the Rebel touchdown and a 14-3 lead. Later in the quarter, UNLV on the move. Decker to Jake Phillips for 23. Then Decker uses his feet and runs 16 to midfield. UNLV had a 1st and goal at the 5, but had 2 passes dropped in the end zone and had to settle for a Nico Bornan 21-yard field goal and a 17-3 lead with 4:18 left in the half. Just before the half, Hare swings it out to Shane Wyman. He gets into the end zone, but UNLV had the lead heading into the locker room 17-10.
Let's start with that opening drive. You wanted to jump out early and get a quick lead. You did exactly that. You had to be happy with what you saw.
Yeah, it was really good to see Decker hook up a Boyd right away. Added a big spark, and we felt like we were going to have some opportunities in one-on-one situations throughout the game, and we did. We took advantage of a couple of them. So that was a great way to start. Anytime you get that lead first, it's a good thing.
And your defense did give up some yardage in there, but when it came to it on 4th down twice there in that first half, they came through with big stops.
The defense was lights out in the first half. When you look at it, they gave up 60 yards rushing. Twice they held them on 4th downs. That's essentially a turnover. So I don't think you could have played a better better first half on defense. That drive at the very end was a tough one, but for the most part, I think they did a phenomenal job.
I really thought the key to the game came in the second quarter. 1st and goal at the 5, a chance to go up 21-3, and you have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, we were 3 for 3 in field goals, and some of those should have ended up being touchdowns. Those ones at the end, we had 2 opportunities to make plays in the end zone, and we didn't do it. And then it's a big difference. 21-3 as compared to 17-3, and then they end up scoring at the end, and those things make a difference at the end of the game. So we got to go and work on that a little bit.
Red zone production, always something that coaches talk about because of obviously the importance of getting 7 instead of 3.
Absolutely. Sometimes you look at the red zone percentage and you beat your chest and say we were 100% in the red zone. Well, how many of those ended up being field goals when they could have been touchdowns? We have to do a better job of putting the ball in the end zone in the red zone.
Well, the second half turned into a seesaw affair with the outcome not decided until the final minute.
Northern Illinois had the ball first to start the second half, and they marched right down the field. First play from scrimmage, Hare hooks up with Kenny Galladay for 41 yards down to the UNLV 22. 2 plays later, the shovel pass to Desroy Maxwell for the 16-yard score, and we were all tied up at 17. The Rebel offense went back to work. Decker hits Kendall Keys for 18 yards to start the drive. On 4th and 1, George Nafahu pounds his way for the first down, but the drive stalled inside the 20, and UNLV settled for a 33-yard field goal in a 20-17 lead. Late in the third, the Huskies drove 93 yards, highlighted by this Hare to Galladay connection for 48 yards. Joel Bunyan capped the drive with his 15-yard touchdown run, and Northern Illinois had their first lead of the game at 24-20 with 1:24 left in the third. Once again, the Rebels answered. Decker finds Keys for a big game, and Bornan nails a 51-yard field goal to cut the deficit to 1. But Northern Illinois' hurry-up offense had the Rebels' defense gassed, and Bunyan took the game over for the Huskies. A 1-yard touchdown run was followed by a 29-yard scoring run in the next series, and the NIU lead was built to 38-23 with 8:10 left in the game. UNLV got right back in it. Decker to Aaron Criswell for 41 yards and the score. UNLV was down just 1 score at 38-30 with 5:26 to go. The defense did its job, forcing a 3-and-out, and UNLV had one last chance to get an equalizer. They started moving the chains. On 3rd and 8, Decker to Boyd for 11 yards. Then on 3rd and 10, it's Decker and Whiteley combining up for 13 more and moving into Husky territory. But the drive stalled. On 4th and 9, the pass to Boyd falls incomplete. Northern Illinois runs out the clock, and the Rebels fall in the season opener 38-30.
The fact that we, in the very beginning of the game and towards the end of the game, that we were able to hold them. I mean, that's something we didn't do last year, and we've come a long way with improving on that side of the ball.
It's good playing hard, but and being close. But to be great, we got to get wins, and that's what we want to do.
Well, late in the first half and the entire second half, Northern Illinois went to a no-huddle offense, and it really seemed to impact the defense. And I guess it goes back to a depth issue as well. I mean, obviously you want to get subs in there, but your guys that were out in the field were a little gassed.
Yeah, they were. We felt like in the first half, we were kind of had the upper hand there. In the second half, they did. And we gave up too many yak yards after contact. I mean, we just, the tackling broke down a little bit in the second half, and we got to go back and talk about that a little bit. Too many big plays, And one of the big things coming into the game was playing good on 3rd down, and obviously we did on 4th down in the first half, and we didn't give up a lot of big plays. Second half that changed, and we gave up too many big plays, and we didn't tackle as well as we did in the first half, and it showed.
You're not afraid to go full contact in practices. Is that one of the things that you're going to use to address the tackling issue as you start moving through the season here?
It is, and it's not even just going full contact. Sometimes it's just thud, but again, finishing in a wrap, finishing, with a good thud, arms around, second guys coming in and cleaning up, and we've done that throughout camp, and we'll continue to.
When you change a program, a lot of times programs that haven't been successful, you get blown out, and then it's getting to where it's close games and losing, then learning how to win close games, and then becoming the people that are blowing them out. Are we seeing that transformation here with this team moving towards that direction?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think the entire staff did a good job of calming the kids down throughout the course of the game, just really doing a great job of communicating, and it showed. I mean, it's a process, and it starts in practice. It starts with the way you handle your business. And, you know, I thought everyone did a really good job of managing that throughout the entire course of the game. And we played a good team. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I think we were one of two teams in the conference that played a Division I-A team. And it's a team that's won a lot of games. And, you know, and like I said yesterday, we're not into moral victories, but when you look at it, you say, wow, we've got some room for growth. We're competing at a high level against a high-level opponent. We got to continue to do that, stay positive, continue to work, become more fundamentally sound. You know, you look at it at the end of the day, you know, we had 11 minutes more of possession than they did. You know, we rushed for that 180 some odd yards, had almost 500 yards offense. First half-wise defensively, we did the things that we set out to do. So we just got to learn to finish and play a complete game.
Well, we're just getting started here in the Reb Zone. Coming up, we're going to give you a chance to win season tickets to Rebel football. But first, we sit down to go one-on-one with quarterback Blake Decker. What's his mindset as the season gets underway, and how has his life's journey molded him into a better football player? Find out as the Reb Zone rolls on.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
For only the third time in the last 12 years, UNLV has the same starting quarterback in back-to-back seasons. But Blake Decker comes into this year a different person, both physically and mentally. I sat down for an extended conversation with Decker to find out what's changed.
What's different this year compared to last year?
Man, I think the better question is what's not different. I think everything from, I mean, everybody wants to look at the aesthetics of the uniforms and the field, and yeah, that's great, but I mean, when it really boils down to it, that doesn't win football games. What wins football games is the new staff that's come in, the new energy they brought, the momentum they bring with them, the excitement, the enthusiasm, and I mean, ultimately that's what's going to win football games, and I think that's the biggest difference between, I mean, last year to this year.
You took a beating last year. You bulked up a lot in the off season. Was that a conscious effort, knowing that at Division I college football you do take a lot of hard hits?
Exactly. I mean, I felt like going into last year I was prepared physically, that I was up around 205, 206, which what I thought was going to be okay, but yeah, you realize going through a full season, it's a long season and it's a lot to get through, and your body takes a lot of beatings, and so I made a big conscious effort in the off season to put on a lot of weight and bulk up, and I'm hoping it pays dividends come fall.
Tell us, how injured were you last year, and at what point did it start?
Oh man. So game 2, Northern Colorado, our first home game, is when I blew the bursa sac in my elbow, and then that was a continuous injury through the rest of the year, because every time I would fall on it, my elbow would swell up, and so I wore a sleeve to try to cover it up so people wouldn't see it. And I mean, we didn't talk about it, and then I mean, that on top of a concussion, on top of ribs, ankle, hamstring, a couple different things, but I mean, the good thing is now I'm healthy, I'm at 100%, and I'm rearing and ready to go for the season.
The fact that you are older, you went on a mission, how has that helped shape you to become a senior leader this year?
Being an older guy and having those experiences, I think it really helps me not only relate to the younger guys, but kind of show them and try to be an example to them on and off the field of what a college athlete needs to be and what kind of role model you need to be on and off the field as well.
You're on the ground level, I guess you could say, of what could be a big change in UNLV football. Important to you?
It's almost a worst case scenario to have your staff fired going into your senior year, because I mean, then you think of, well, my job's up in the air, 1, we're bringing in a new staff, 2, they're going to take time to bring in their young guys, who knows what's going to happen to our positions, but to have that reassurance, to have him come in and just tell us, hey, I want to win now for you guys, I mean, that's huge. He's a guy we want to play for, he's a guy we rally behind, and he's a guy we want to win a lot of games for.
Every game is special in college football when you step on the field. Now that it's your last year, do you take a moment as you walk out of the tunnel for every game? How do you approach that mentally, and do you soak it in a little bit?
You have to. I mean, ultimately, I mean, there's a lot of pressure that surrounds college football, obviously, and especially a program where people expect you to make that push back and come off of a 2-win season. But I mean, there were moments last year where I remember against U of A game 1, I stepped out on the field and it was almost this surreal moment of, like, I remember being a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old playing NCAA college football and making my character and playing it at U of A and playing at places like this. And I remember there's those few moments where you kind of just have to stop and soak it all in and enjoy the fact that you're playing and you're completing one of your dreams. And so as much as we want to win and as much as that's our goal, at the same time, I mean, we got to take a step back and we sit back and realize that this is an amazing experience that we have, and it's not going to last long. And for us seniors, this is the last one, so we're trying to soak it all in and enjoy every experience we have.
So Blake Decker does bring a certain level of maturity. You do have a young team behind him. How important is it to have that quarterback with that level of maturity?
It's huge. I mean, just every day, from the meeting rooms to practice to the weight room, you know, in our preparation, obviously on game day. I mean, he's a strong young man, mentally, physically. He's a good football player, and he does a great job.
You did use Palandek in for a few series there yesterday. How often are we going to see that? Is that going to be something we're going to see every week?
Well, we wanted to do it through the first 3 games for sure, you know, and we'll see how the season goes. But, you know, it's a plan that, you know, worked well yesterday. He came in, had a real, you know, big run, and even on his second series he was able to break off another big, long run. And he did a great job, and, you know, that experience is going to be invaluable in the future.
Right after the break, we're going to have a chance for you out there to win season tickets to Rebel football. But first, we're going to start breaking down the home opener as UCLA rolls into Sam Boyd Stadium to play the Rebels for the first time in history. The Reb Zone back in just 2 minutes.
This hair-raising play of the week is brought to you by Vegas Valley Hair.
The opening drive of the season and last year's offensive weapons picked up right where they left off. Blake Decker with the throw downfield to Devontae Boyd, and he breaks a tackle and races 65 yards to get the season started out right. It's hopefully a sign of things to come, and it's the hair-raising play of the week.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
Grab your phone because here's your chance to win Rebel football season tickets. Call now and be the 5th caller to win 2 2015 season tickets to Rebel football at Sam Boyd Stadium, plus a parking pass and a football signed by Coach Sanchez. Call 1-888-FOX-5-WIN. That's 1-888-369-5946. You can call right now. The phone lines are open. Well, the home opener is Saturday as UCLA rolls into town for the first ever football meeting between the two schools. The Bruins bring a national ranking with them and a whole lot of buzz surrounding their young quarterback.
UCLA comes into Sam Boyd Stadium with a lot of expectations to be in the thick of the Pac-12 race and the national playoff picture. The Bruins look sharp in a convincing 34-16 win against Virginia on Saturday, with a lot of the focus turning to freshman quarterback Josh Rosen. The nation's top quarterback recruit had a stellar beginning to his college career, completing 28 of 35 passes for 351 yards and 3 touchdowns. UCLA head coach Jim Moore was impressed with his young quarterback, but says it helps to have some weapons around him.
He's been challenged really through all of spring and all of fall camp to make difficult throws, and so I don't think it really flusters him to throw it in there. And I think he has great confidence in his receivers. You know, we've got a big group of receivers. Our receivers are big guys, you know, and so there's a target there for him.
Rosen is a pocket passer and got good protection from his offensive line. The Bruins defense has also stepped up a notch this season. Against Virginia, they didn't allow a touchdown until the final minutes of the game and held the Cavaliers in check. This will be as good of a team as UNLV will see this season and has seen in some time.
All right, you know Josh Rosen well. He played at St. John Bosco. Bishop Gorman beat them last year. What does he bring to the table, and what do you have to do to slow him down?
Well, there's a reason he was one of the top recruits in the country last year. You know, UCLA's got a great quarterback in Rosen, and you know, really, you know, as Coach Moore just alluded to, it's not just him; it's that entire machine they have over there. They've got a ton of weapons all over the place, so we have to do a really good job of, again, tackling, you know, making them earn what they get, not giving up big plays. And I think if you do that, that gives you an opportunity.
The Bruin defense can be stingy as well. It's going to be, I would assume, very important to get a running game established.
Yeah, Coach Bradley, you know, new defensive coordinator coming in, and, you know, Moore being a defensive guy, they're always going to be good on that side of a ball. So, you know, it's going to be tough running the ball against that front. I mean, it's a very athletic, good front, but we're going to need to do so, again, to try and control some of the pacing of the game.
Well, we're going to take one last break. We're going to be back with some final thoughts from Coach Sanchez. But first, here's a look at how other Mountain West teams did in Week 1.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
Home opener, UCLA, Saturday night at 7:30. I know a big crowd is important to you to get people out there to Sam Boyd.
It is. It's huge. You know, our kids played their tails off this last week, and they're excited about coming home. First home game at Sam Boyd Stadium. So we want to fill that whole stadium up and, again, show how important UNLV football is to this community and our university.
We knew these first 3 games were going to be tough games on the schedule, and it was also important to come out of there injury-free, or as injury-free as possible. And it seemed, at least coming out of Northern Illinois, pretty good job at coming out with any major injuries.
Yeah, nothing major happened. Obviously, we'll meet with our medical staff later today, but we feel good about, you know, coming out of the game and being healthy and getting ready to compete in Week 2.
All right, Coach, good luck on Saturday. 7:30 kickoff out at Sam Boyd Stadium. We hope you can join us out there, and we hope you join us next week on the Reb Zone as we break that one all down. We're going to leave you tonight with the Rebel Football Plays of the Week. Good night.
Let's go!
Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show was presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.